little while ago, Iga Swiatek was in here, and she said that when she watches you and Carlos play, she's most impressed with the fight, the never give up approach. And Coco Gauff said that she most admires how even when you're losing, you and Carlos, you stay positive. Mm-hmm. When you think of those two players, Iga and Coco, what do you think of most about what they bring to their games and the way they play?
Well, Iga has been dominating the women's game last couple of years, multiple Grand Slam winner. And I love her, devotion, dedication. Also, she's got, maybe she's too humble to say, too modest to say, but she's got a great fighting spirit.
The internet is going crazy over something Novak Djokovic recently stated about Coco Gauff. Twitter for tennis is in complete disarray. The haters, on the other hand, are frantically searching for justifications. People take note when a 24-time Grand Slam champion disparages someone. However, Djokovic's revelations about the game of golf have everyone talking for unexpected reasons. The jealousy. It's real, I see. What, in your opinion, distinguishes champions from good players? Post your opinions in the comments section.
Now Brett Gilbert on her side, with the great experience of coaching some of the greats. I think things are coming together for her. She played really good tennis in Cincinnati, and also she's been playing well here. She's got the home support, of course, which is always welcome and needed. And physically, she seems to be very fit. She's striking the ball very well. And she, I think she broke to the kind of top of the women's game quite early, some years.
Let's be clear about one thing. Novak Djokovic does not give out awards such as participation trophies. This man fought the greatest tennis ever produced for 20 years. Despite facing detractors who would rather to watch paint dry than give him credit, he continues to demonstrate that he is the most complete player the sport has ever seen. You can be sure that it means something when he takes the time to respectfully analyze another player's game. He completely dismantled Coco Gauff's strategy.
Actually, she has probably the most bagels of anyone in women's tennis, and in the last few years. So it speaks about how seriously and professionally she's taking every single point and game on the court. So that's very admirable. I really like that kind of champion spirit.
Djokovic was questioned about Gauff and Ivek during a press conference. Now, the majority of players in his situation would discard some general, they're talented, working hard nonsense, and go on. Not Djokovic. He went into full analyst mode, and what emerged was essentially a master lesson in comprehending the workings of champions. Gauff is getting very close to being a complete player and ready to dominate the game from someone who knows a thing or two about domination, the man literally stated. That goes beyond simple compliments. It's a prophecy.
He played the fourth round of Wimbledon, so but it still takes some time, a few years, for things to come together where you feel that you are complete as a player, that you are ready to win slams and dominate the game. And I think she's coming very close to that stage and that level. So I'm sure that she has very high hopes for US Open, and she should, because she's playing.
This is where things start to get interesting, though. You could almost hear keyboard warriors everywhere feverishly scribbling their hot takes as soon as these remarks appeared on social media. Naturally, the Djokovic haters were the first to arrive. His words suddenly become irrelevant because, wait for it, he is Novak Djokovic. It seems that even praises to other players become problematic when you're that successful. The mental gymnastics were astounding on an Olympic scale. Then there were the golf naysayers, a unique kind of tennis fan who had been waiting for her to fail since she was a teenager. They typed angrily, "She hasn't won a slam yet," as though Djokovic hadn't actually addressed that particular topic. The man claimed that she is still growing, that things are starting to work out for her, and that she has played excellent tennis in Cincinnati. However, as a random Twitter user with a fictitious name and an anime profile photo, you are undoubtedly more knowledgeable about tennis potential than the guy with 24 majors. The bit that is truly crazy. Djokovic wasn't even causing controversy. He was telling the truth. Golf is healthy. She's making good ball strikes. Brad Gilbert is now coaching her. And she has the support of the home audience at the US Open. These are not opinions, they are facts. However, facts have a peculiar way of upsetting haters, particularly when those facts are directed at someone they have already chosen to oppose. Since it seems that not everyone is good at reading comprehension, let's discuss what Djokovic actually meant. He said that Gauff rose to the top of the women's tennis rankings at Wimbledon around the age of 16 or 17. He pointed out that it takes a few years for everything to come together before you feel whole enough to dominate and win slams. It's also true. He mentioned that she plays exceptionally well and is physically fit. Once more, it is objectively true. In essence, the man was outlining the precise course of the majority of tennis greats. Few players waltz into the tour and begin gathering majors, such as their Pokemon cards, right away. There were stages of development for even the greatest legends in history. However, everyone becomes an expert on why Gauff will never succeed when Djokovic portrays her journey as typical and hopeful. This is what truly irritated folks. Djokovic likened the natural evolution that champions go through to the patience required in Gauff's development. He wasn't putting undue pressure on her or hurrying her time frame. In essence, he was suggesting that she is where she should be and that the best is on the way. You can only obtain that kind of viewpoint from someone who has personally experienced hardship and understands that greatness cannot be microwaved. The irony is delightful. Djokovic, who battled through injuries, media bias, and everything else, was told over years that he would never overtake Federer and Nadal and was frequently written off like a bad check. People are furious because this same Djokovic is now claiming that Gauff's method is legitimate. It is astounding how little self-awareness there is. Let's deal with the elephant in the room now. She was also lauded by EGA Swiatek Jovovic, who described her as a warrior with a champion mentality and noted that she is too modest about her fighting abilities. He talked about her power and the notorious bagels she gives out, which for the tennis challenged means winning sets 6-0. As he should, the man gave Swiatek a lot of praise. She has been dominating the women's tour, but for some reason, some parts of the internet attempted to set his disparaging remarks against his remarks as like he was ranking them or stirring up controversy. He merely responded to a query concerning both players. Both received sincere, in-depth praise. However, since people in this day and age require conflict just as much as plants want sunlight, they will create it on their own. Yes, he responded, it's dominant, but Gauff is still evolving. Gauff is being shaded by him. Or the opposite. Gauff is going to make a breakthrough, he declared. He is demeaning the reign that is now in place. Reading comprehension is no longer present in the conversation. Djokovic's reputation for spotting talent lends even more credence to his evaluation. This isn't a retired athlete frantically trying to stay current with trendy takes. This icon is still competing against the greatest, has an intense interest in the game, and is aware of the mental and physical demands of championship tennis. It's not just empty cheerleading when he says Gauff should have high aspirations for the US Open because she's playing so well. That is an assessment from someone who is well aware of the requirements. Let's also discuss Brad Gilbert's inclusion to the golf team. Djokovic particularly highlighted that Gilbert helped Andy Murray and Andre Agassi achieve significant success. He is renowned for his mental game tutoring and tactical aptitude. Djokovic is paying attention to more than just shot-making, as seen by his recognition of that relationship as a positive indicator. He's examining the whole picture. Mindset, experience, form, fitness, and coaching. You know, the things that real tennis gurus take into account. While everything is going on, the detractors are examining gift replies and obsessing over Instagram likes. However, this is the point at which jealousy truly sets in. Gauff is 20 years old. She has talent, time, and is currently a cosign of one of the greatest athletes of all time. Those who have been hoping for her demise simply watch as Djokovic says, yeah, she's got it. It hurts. They will appear really dumb for questioning her if she succeeds, and let's be honest, given her athleticism and hard ethic, it's a when not if issue. They are also aware of it. Because of this, the comments area of every article that featured Djokovic's appreciation became a minefield. Some people are making backflips in an attempt to downplay what he stated. He's only being kind though. Nice without reason, Djokovic. The same person who quietly won the match after smashing a racket. He's not out here praising charities. He's attempting to garner media attention. Novak Djokovic is the man. He uses his breath to create pressure. Give it another go. The best part is how, after discussing her fitness, Djokovic casually mentioned that Gauff is hitting the ball extremely well. This is really important for tennis enthusiasts. Championship tennis is essentially built on a foundation of consistent ball hitting and physical stamina. He is no longer discussing possibility. He is referring to present capability. She doesn't have the potential to acquire these abilities. Now she has them. That is what the skeptics find intolerable. They had ammunition as long as they could identify Gauff as young, hopeful, or not yet there. Djokovic is essentially stating that she has knocked on the door and is going to kick it down. They are in a panic as their opportunity for defamation is closing. He only said that because of the political correctness angle, right? Some people tried the classic. Because Djokovic is now concerned about being politically correct, despite the fact that he has never been reluctant to voice his opinions, sometimes to his own harm. Djokovic, who has consistently defied conventional wisdom throughout his career, is now a puppet of public opinion. Make sense of it. Others said that he was merely promoting American tennis to boost US Open viewership. Djokovic doesn't work for the tournament, to start. He is not a member of their public relations staff. Second, he gave her equal appreciation despite the fact that she is not American. Third, once more, here is Novak Djokovic. He is not out here delivering water to the organizers of the tournament. If conspiracy ideas weren't so desperate, they would be humorous. In actuality, this was a straightforward situation. Djokovic was questioned by a journalist regarding two elite female athletes. Based on his knowledge and observations, he provided intelligent, thorough, and truthful responses. He appreciated each player's position in their journey and praised their various strengths. That's all. That's the tale. However, a hateful person is unable to accept basic truths. Drama is what you need. You require controversy. Even when nothing terrible is going on, you need reasons to feel upset. As a result, Djokovic's completely fair complimentary analysis turns into this huge situation where people become stuck trying to figure out what's wrong. The funniest aspect is that Gauff will most likely win one or more Grand Slams. These same individuals will also assert that they have always had faith in her. This is how it operates. Until success is indisputable, the detractors will continue to hate. Then, in order to avoid appearing stupid, they modify their stories in retrospect. We've already seen this film. Do you recall a time when Djokovic was only the third player after Nadal and Federer? Do you recall when people believed he would never be able to match their number of slams? Do you recall the days when every win was a danger and every defeat was evidence that he wasn't competitive? He now has more majors than both of them. Suddenly, everyone was aware that he would be the GOAT. Yes, you did. The pattern of hatred is the same, but Gauff's path is different. A young player shows promise, is overhyped, encounters criticism, grows slowly, succeeds, and makes detractors laugh. In tennis, we have witnessed this pattern numerous times. The loudness of the critics during the development stage is the only variable. The timing of Djokovic's remarks is what gives them impact. Gauff is at the precise moment when things could start to make sense. She is surrounded by the ideal squad, mentally tougher, tactically sharper, and physically mature. It's not conjecture when someone who has experienced championship pressure says she's getting very near to that stage. That is a master's pattern recognition. And that's why jealousy strikes so quickly and forcefully. Even the haters are aware of what's about to happen. The writing on the wall is visible to them. Djokovic simply read it out to everyone. Additionally, they are no longer able to act as though they are blind to it. Gauff is no longer a project. She is not a tale to be told eventually. She is currently a player who is on the verge of becoming well known. And that was recently validated by one of the greatest champions in history. The internet might flare up at any time. Twitter has the potential to blow up. Discussions on Reddit sometimes get out of control. It doesn't alter reality. Coco Gauff is doing exactly what she needs to do and is precisely where she needs to be. Novak Djokovic, who has some winning experience, recently declared to the public that she is prepared. It was also heard by the haters. They're furious because of this. That's it. The internet couldn't take Djokovic's statement about what champions recognize in other champions. No amount of hatred can alter the course of Gauff's journey, which is going precisely as it should. For more tennis stuff that makes sense, hit the like button and subscribe if you like this explanation. What do you think the Gauff Slam will be? Tell me below.